Good early evening here. YouTube people. What is going on with y'all today? Ow. This video here is entitled Got Loyalty. I was talking about this before and I'm gonna speak on it a little bit right now. Like I said, I play a few games for money online. Monopoly Go is one of those games. I have never, ever put a single dime into that game. I don't buy stuff to, further myself in a game and things like this, but every now and again I see how people, they continue to advance and advance and advance. Nobody is that good. And I'm good without buying. So if you're like, putting all kinds of money into this game, that's you. You're foolish anyways for doing that. But nevertheless, I'll never get jealous of somebody, but I noticed this one person that gave me a friend request. Now, I never came against this person. They were never on a team of mine. I don't even know how they knew I was playing Monopoly Go. But they gave me a friend request, so I accepted it. Okay? And then next thing you know, they start taking pot shots at me. Boom, tried to attack you. Boom, tried to attack you. Boom, tried to attack you. And then I noticed that their status was moving up. Now, granted, I started this game middle of last year. And I missed maybe 3 months of playing this game. I had a lot of stuff going on at the time and I really didn't have time to play it. So, I had to skip playing it. But nevertheless, it took me a while to get where I'm at. So I'm close to like 18,000. I think 17,000. I'm close to that right now. And there is a girl named Dana that was like right ahead of me, like within 1,000 of my thing. From the time that I started playing, I accepted her friendship and that. Now she's like, 4,000 or 5,000 ahead of me. So clearly she puts money into it. But this one particular one I was talking about before on another video, they had 2, only 2, when I accepted their friendship, and that wasn't a month ago. Okay, so all of a sudden, now they're up to almost 14,000. You don't get that just by everyday play. Sorry, but not sorry. You cannot do that. I don't care who you are. You cannot get up that high without putting money into that game. You could not. So that was beside the point, because I'm not jealous. I mean, if you get ahead of me because you're putting money into a game, you're the foolish one, not me. I'm playing just as normal can be. Never put a dime, not a dollar, nothing ever into these games. Never. And all of a sudden you're like 2,000, 3,000 away from me. Clearly you've been buying a lot of stuff to get up that high, that quick. Nevertheless, that wasn't important to me. I don't really care. Because like I said, you're the foolish one if you're putting all kind of money into a game just to compete with me somehow or another. Hey, that's cool with me. But when it comes to you wanting to be my friend and me friending you on a game and you're taking pot shots at me, that's a already automatic see you later. I don't want to be any part of anybody that does that. Why? Why are you trying to take pot shots at me? You're supposed to be my friend. That is what loyalty is all about. Being loyal to somebody. Also, if you're in a relationship and you're cheating on somebody behind their back, that is a loyalty issue also. There's a lot of things that deal with loyalty. Like I said, Jermaine. So, when I got off of the plane coming back from the Philippines, I met with Jermaine. He was in the airport. He was homeless. He was there were a whole bunch of homeless people in the airport at that time. And he was one of them. I met him over there. From the day I met him, he was nothing but a lie. He told nothing but lies, okay? Now, I did say this before, and I will say it again, because I'm not perfect on that either. I'm not. It's like Judge Judy says, if you don't have clean hands, you can't really talk about this. So, I'm not excusing the fact that I told a lie about how old I was. But he's been lying the whole time. He never came out with it, even now that he knows that I know that he's younger than me instead of older than me. He has never, ever apologized for it. Like, who cares? And that's how he feels about it. But, at least I came clean with mine, Like I said, so many different people on Facebook at one time were saying that I looked younger. And I would ask them, how old do you think I am? And they would say, 40, 41, whatever. And I would say, yeah, that's right. But it wasn't. I was almost 50 and 51. So I wasn't exactly telling the truth on that. There is nothing that I can do to make that any better. It was wrong. I admitted it was wrong. And I have moved away from that situation. And if somebody had a problem with me saying something like that, that's cool, because I'm the one that made the mistake. I am. But it's a mistake that I can't harp on. I can't sit on that mistake and say, woe is me, la la. Okay, I made a mistake. We all make mistakes in this lifetime. We all do. And as long as we come forward and speak the truth, then it comes out a lot better. You look better when you actually clarify that you have told a story, and like that. I told you, I've had friends. I had friends right on that I grew up with on my street that were lying about how old they were and said they were younger also. It's wrong. It's wrong for me. It's wrong for them. But it happens. It happens. But Jermaine, he said he was born in 1958, okay? 1958. So he's like telling me, I'm going to be 67 this year and blah, blah, blah. I said, that's good for you. His birthday is December 21st. So I say, that's good for you. And, he's making a big to-do about it, because back during my time and before my time, like my mom and dad's and my grandparents and everything else, if you were older, then you were the one that got the respect. And him knowing that I was older than him, he wanted to make it that he got the respect from me rather than the opposite. Like he was harping on respect and that. But he told everybody that he was born in 1957 out here. You know, I did tell some females, about 20, 25 of them, online, and I'm not saying that it was good or right or anything like that, but I did tell them that I was younger than what I am. But, you know, we all make mistakes, like I said. However, when I found out, the day I found out that he was not how old he said he was, he looked over at me and didn't say nothing. He didn't say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I should have told you the truth. I was born in 1970 and not 1958. So he's making himself 12 years older, which God only knows. I mean, I would never make myself older. I did make myself younger because I had, like I said, I had about 20, 25 women online that were all within the 20-ish, 30th range. And I was wrong for doing it. And I know that, okay? But nevertheless, he looked right over at me and didn't say nothing. He didn't say, "Oh, I'm sorry." And to this day, and it's been a long while now, he has never apologized for that. And I haven't spoke to him since. He doesn't come around here anymore because he knows that I don't know how you could just not apologize for it. Like I said, we all do wrong. I would definitely forgive him for that, but he's too proud to come and say, "Look, I'm sorry for what I did." And a lot of people have been that way in my life. A lot. Matter of fact, I am one, because of my number one gift and all the gifts that follow behind that, I draw in more negative people than I do positive. I mean, I have positive people around me and I talk to them on a regular basis, don't get me wrong. But the people that draw towards me are the negative people, and the reason why is because I guess they can feel that I am the healer. I can heal people from the negative that they have within them. And it's really important to not carry around negative energy. With negative energy, let's just say this. You go to a doctor or something, and he says, "Well, if you don't get rid of the stress, you're going to die. You're going to have a heart attack and die," or something of that nature. It's the same thing. I am a healer in negative energy. I can turn any negative energy into a positive energy, especially when it comes to myself. So if you throw negative energy towards me, it's just going to turn into a positive energy because I don't accept negative energy in my life. I don't. As a matter of fact, if somebody starts feeding me negative energy, I tell them to go very unpolitely. I tell them to leave the building because I don't want to be around that. But I am very capable of turning negative energy into positive energy. So in that case, I am the healer. And also with love, because love is the most important thing in anybody's life, but especially in mine, okay? I don't know you from Adam's Horse Cat, whoever's listening to me. I don't know you personally, maybe. But what I do know, if you don't have love, you don't have my Father. And if you don't have my Father, you're in a world of trouble, okay? Because at all in any standpoint, you never have any protection over anything. Zero. And there's a lot that can come at you in your life if you have zero protection. But with my father, I am always looked after. He has always looked after me. And I told you about the angel when I was 4 years old. That angel means business. I'm telling you, he does not play around. And my father in the third heaven, he definitely doesn't play around. So if he needs to put any more protection at me, he will. But I always have at least that one angel. That one angel is very, very, very powerful. And I won't go any further into that because there's some other things that you may not understand. So I'm not going to go any farther into that. But just to know this, you should not try anything against people, because you never know who you're dealing with. That's what I can tell you. Because, although my father has zero favorites, there is some of us that he takes a little bit more concern and care with than some of the others. And especially if you constantly are with him. Like, you're talking to him all the time. You go through the daytime and you talk to him. He wants to know what's up with you. And he can hear you if you speak to him. Speak to him. Speak to him with your heart. Like, you don't want to talk to him like, he's a brother on the street with you or something, You talk to him with respect, but with your heart. That is how you get through to him. Not with your mouth, not with your brain, with your heart. You talk to him. You should know what that is. If you belong to him, you do know what that is. But a lot of people talk to him with their mouth, and all they ever do is ask for things from him, material things from him. Now, his word says it. My God shall supply all your needs according to his riches and glory, and you shall have pressed down and blah, 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 blah. There's all kinds of verses that say that as long as you belong to him, he's going to take care of you. But you should always, with love and respect, talk to him from your heart. Listen, Father, today, I love you. I have a deep love for you. You have always been there. You've always been on my side. You've always seen me through the most difficult things I could ever go through. You were right there, carrying me the whole way, just like that footprints picture depicts. There was only one set of footprints. Why? Because he was carrying you the whole way. And he's always carried me my whole life, through all the badness that I've ever gone through, all the difficulties I've ever gone through. And before, I thought it was kind of like Bruce Almighty, where he was talking about, and I said this before too, where he was talking about God's just up in heaven with a big magnifying glass frying an ant. I'm like the ant, and he's frying me. Like I always felt like he had something personal against me, but it wasn't. It was helping me grow. as a person, as Danny, who grew up as a little boy and into a man. He was helping me grow. Now, I am totally different than I used to be. You know, my mom and my sisters, I'm sure, and even my cousins and aunts and uncles, okay? They probably still will look at me as the Danny they knew before. Now, if they stay in my presence long enough, they're gonna see that I changed a whole lot. But if if they talk to me for 5 minutes or whatever, they're not really gonna get the whole gist of me changing at all. And they'll probably still, especially my mother, God bless her soul, my mom, she will probably look at me in that same light as little Danny all the way up till right now. Like I never have changed. I never will change to her, and that's fine. It's fine. She doesn't have to see a change in me, but I have. I've changed very much so, and people should try that because your life comes out a whole lot better when you're following my father and he's right there with you, carrying you the whole way. Because he will. He's the only one that will. You could be in the darkest of darkest places, on your knees, somebody pushing your face down into the mud, and my father will be right there picking you right back up and saying, no, take your hands off of my son or my daughter. And that's how he is. Anyways, I want you to know that I love you. I love you right there. Love yourself. Love my Father God. And by all means, love each other, people. Until the next time, love, peace, and soul.
Tomorrow.